Derek with Eliminex, Pest Management in New Jersey, located in Old Bridge. Going to this bed bug job here. It's not that bad. You know, we didn't even see any bed bugs. They just showed me a sample. So I came to this room, and this is the room where the activity was found. It looked like an older bed, like a 25, 30-year-old bed. I was informed that it came from somebody's mother's house. Then you put that together. Sometimes, the elderly they do some time in like a nursing home or home care for rehab or hospitals, where they bring these bed bugs back from these places because they don't use pesticides in their facilities, because they have to close down their facility. Certain rooms that they're using pesticides, so they have to use like other non-chemical methods in monitoring. So what happens, it just proliferates the bed bug population, and then they bring them back. So this girl, she brought the bed bug, a mattress from her home. This is the story I got, so I was able to put that together and dig right in this room. And what I found here, I'm not saying a major bed bug evidence, but we see here like bed bug feces, like you see the little spots. Try to make it for the camera. There he is. See the spots right there. And then you see bed bug eggs, egg capsules, and it's kind of hard to. I don't really have a good camera here, but you can see like little egg bug casings throughout. Some bed bugs have already run off already, but then you see the evidence of them. If you smudge they'll smear. So over here I did on this rack, on this wood part, you can see like in the dead center right here where I smeared the blood smears, and that's fresh. That indicates fresh activity. You can see indications of the spots throughout the framework, and I had to take off the cloth to do that. And this cloth is already deteriorated, but some cloths are pretty much pretty solid and black in color. We can't see anything. And here's a live bed bug right here. Here's a live bed bug right here that just fell. I don't know if the camera's getting that. You can see it. Yeah. See that running around? I'm gonna squish this one. I haven't even done treatment yet. I'm just, ooh, look at that. That's pretty fresh. It's pretty disgusting, right? Well, that one was just feeding. Here's a nymph. Here's a nymph running around. I don't know if you can see it. Right there, it's kind of running. I got to get that one, but what I did, I disturbed them. That's why you want to go to the bed. You want to go to the bed last before you start doing treatment and moving things around. We're really doing a disservice by telling people to do a full prep and stripping their beds before we come, but they have to be kind of prepared properly so they can take action right away. But what happens, they end up disturbing the bed bug population. But then what they're going to do, they're going to end up going in adjacent units like the baseboards. They're going to go up here, hang out in the walls, casings, moldings. They're going to go here in the wall. They're going to go around trim work of the closet space, inside the track system. They'll be, and that's where I already looked already behind the calendar. Usually preparation, they take everything off the walls, but they weren't too sure. I took out the top drawer. You're supposed to take all the drawers, but I start out. If it's a severe infestation, usually the bed bugs will always start in the cabinet part of the dressers if they're next to the bed, and they're not. There's no activity present to be visible. I took the top drawers out. That's where they would usually be, on the top drawer, at the highest point of the cabinet, because they would go up the side and come up to the top and crawl in. So usually you'll see the activity there, and sometimes they'll be underneath the cabinet. So I'm gonna have to flip these dressers over sideways. If the dressers are too big, you could treat underneath properly. You have to just be very thorough. Casings, the door hinges and stuff like that, the door stops. You check all this activity for feces or dead bed bugs. Sometimes if the customer would try to do some spraying by themselves, they would be more scattered. But this person didn't do any kind of pre-treatment on their own. Look at that little slot in there. That's a hollow post. These old-fashioned, old-timey beds. They're not even dovetailed in. They're just glued with little dowels, and there's some kind of crack. There's enough space and gaps and little recessed screws for them to hide. So what do I see here? What do I see over here? You see more droppings and the in the woodwork, the framing of the bed. Now something like this, if you threw this out on the street, this mattress, what will happen is a scavenger will come and pick up the mattress usually, and they collect them like pallets, and then they'll sell them to a recycle place. And what the recycle place will sell them to like furniture companies, and what they do, they refurbish them. They take the existing innards of this unit, springs and everything, and then they'll take the covering off and they'll recover everything, but leave the wood, everything else in place. And what happens is that the new refurbished bed, even though it has a refurbished tag on it, people don't know, but announced to them that they bought a brand new, what they think is brand new, with a refurbished tag, so they sold at discount. It's by law they have to inform that's refurbished for other reasons as well. I don't know why they even still allowed that practice. They're probably going to legislate that soon to not allow the refurbishing of mattresses. But recycling is considered green, and because of green, they're trying to promote no less pesticides, banning of pesticide use, and like the green approach goes for everything. Just reuse everything, and don't treat anything with pesticides. And what happens is the bedbug population has exploded in the past 10 years. It's not people, they blame the foreign travelers. Well, we had foreign travelers since the beginning of the United States. We've always had foreign travelers here, so it's really, you can't really put that on too much in foreign travel. That's how they hitch a ride throughout the world. But I think because of the green movement, so aggressive, especially on the Northeast here in New York and New Jersey, which is pretty much the gateway to like international travel, all this movement back and forth, where bed bugs are just big everywhere throughout the world. And but this one's going to be treated. It just wouldn't make sense to throw it out untreated. Treat it really nice with pesticides. It's going to leave about 3 to 5 months residual time. You put it back, treat the framework and everything, treat the rest of the room, treat the whole apartment, all the adjacent units. You see how those bed bugs run around? You know, even though it's here, it came on this bed when it was moved in. Look at apartments. You got one room adjacent to another room. So if I just sprayed this one room, bed bugs could scatter just like you saw them just dropped on the floor when I was disturbing the mattress where they were at. They can easily just run to the other room and lay eggs, even though they may die. They may die from exposure to my treatment, but they can deposit eggs without any danger to the eggs, and they can hatch within 1 to 2 weeks and come on this side of the apartment and infest this room, which this room has 0 bed bug presence. I had to take off the mattress casing on this one, even brand new mattresses. You just have to, in order to treat it properly. You see companies, they won't do that. They won't spend the time to go through all this process because the extra process you go for preparation takes like some extra out of your time. And I don't know why some companies want to be cheap like that, because they're selling a program requiring like 4 required treatments, so they don't go through this process. Sometimes they don't even stand the beds up and move the mattresses. They just come 4 or 5 times, 20 minutes, just spray. Has everything just sitting, just spray the baseboards like they're spraying cockroaches, But when you do a one-time service with a guarantee, you go really thorough. See right here with the couches, we already know this room has no bed bugs, not one bed bug. We did a thorough inspection. But we're going to treat everything in this room also, because look at the proximity between the infested room, all stages of bed bugs, going all the way, it's not even that far. You got a living room area where they can come and scatter here and deposit eggs and stuff like that. If there's no treatment in place, the eggs can be safely deposited, and they could within a week or 2, they could start proliferating and exponentially increase within a couple of months, and then you have an infested living room. Even if nobody's sleeping in here, the bed bugs have been moved to this direction. That's a possibility. It's usually not it's the safer than sorry approach. It's really not what happens every time. So what do? We come in here. We don't treat the surface of the couch where your skin would contact that. We assume people wear clothes when they're sitting on their couches, but you want to reduce skin pesticide contact. That's just common sense. And so what we do, we take the mattresses, we take the pillows off, and we instruct them to what these pillows. we instruct them to you could just leave them alone really, because the bed bugs really aren't going to infest the pillows. But you could lightly. Oh, I gotta take this frame. This frame was on the wall. I didn't do this preparation. I would have did this preparation more strategic than this. But what we do in this situation is to take the pillows. You could lightly treat the pillows. You don't have to treat the whole surface, because if there's a bed bug gets on this pillow and it wants to lay an egg or live on a pillow, it's going to be by the zipper. It's going to be by the zipper, and they would most likely deposit an egg in a little crease and crack. So you could lightly treat with pesticide, registered pesticide. This is a very label for bed bugs and indoor use, and safely apply it. Onto the surface. You can just spray it strategically. A lot of technicians and companies don't have this expertise and this knowledge, but we, being in the business 20 years experience, where that was the only method of control is pesticides. Yeah, we just know how to treat a house responsibly and effectively and thoroughly. So look at that. Let me get a flashlight here. See the little foot here? Look at the little recessed holes. See the recessed holes in the feet? And some of the couches they'll unscrew. And when they unscrew, they create a gap here. But this is actually molded part of the furniture. With couches, they're not like beds. You don't really have to take you don't really have to take the casing off there. The couches are different because of the tension, the way they're designed. You really don't want to disturb the bottom here, because it's really keeping everything in place, keeping insects out. It keeps, if you ever got a loose mouse in the house, especially with apartments, that could happen. You don't want mice to get in there in a couch situation. So what we do with the couch is really just treat everything we thoroughly can, crack and crevice, in case a rogue bed bug came out, if it was flushed out, and try to get established elsewhere for survival. Because their behavior, they really wouldn't go to the bedroom furniture, living room furniture, unless someone was sleeping on here full time, which happens a lot. That's why we ask questions if somebody is sleeping on the couch full time, because some people will abandon their room and sleep on. We found out they've been sleeping on the couch for 3 months before they called us. And then when we start inspecting, especially if a fabric couch, we will discover bed bugs harboring on the couch. In this situation, they're not using this room for sleeping. And but we'll just treat it anyway, very thoroughly, crack and crevice. Treat all the lines here. Treat all the surface. This is not a pull-out, thank goodness. If there was a pull-out, you have to pull out the bed and treat that as a bed. Treat all the cracks. Treat the seams. In case a bed bug will go in, it's not going to just hang out in the open. It's going to go in the cracks and grooves. So you want to get everything treated nice in case once it's trying to get established, by the time it figures out where to go, it's dead. You got to take that picture frame off the wall. What we do, treat around the casings, around the air conditioner. We'll see the lamp here. Not worried about the lamp here, but see the base. We take that up and treat underneath the base. I'm telling you, these are our secrets. I don't think I should post this online, because we give people too many bright ideas. If they do exactly what I do, that they're going to be proficient and expert pest management professionals. But you have to know why you're doing something more than just being shown something, because it'd be irresponsible to spray pesticides and not know why you're doing it, and what rate, and what to expect, and how to explain it, like why you're doing it. All the cracks, see the framework here, the shelving. You want to, we treat all the cracks. They're not going to be their bed bugs aren't going to be like beyond the bedrooms really too much, unless it's a major infestation. They're not even in this room. There's not even one in this room, or even evidence. Even one went in there. I assured the lady that was living in this room, there's no problem, don't worry about it. You just launder, be safe than sorry. Put everything in the laundry, wash and dry. Concentrate on the linens. Maybe do your linens and comforter again a week later, in case there are any eggs that have been deposited by any rogue bed bugs that happen to be scattered around. Because at the time, it could take up to 2 weeks to be completely rid of bed bugs if you do it properly. And it's unheard of in the industry, right? Companies claim they can't do it in one treatment. But if you're very thorough and you take your time, I'm taking time out of my treatment to go over this video with you, to share. And this is not even a promotional video. I'm not even promoting my company to show the methods of how to treat. I wish someone showed me how to do a thorough treatment. And at least these are the kind of questions you might ask a company that doesn't do it this way. And if they're this way, and they may just look at you like you're green, you're purple, and laugh at you. Like, don't worry about it, man. We're the professionals, you know. But you got to know there is an old school method of controlling all pests if you understand their behavior patterns, and you know how to ask questions, and you can envision the source of the bug problem. You know, if you just take your time, and ask questions, and show that you care, so they'll be honest. Because a lot of times they won't be honest with you. They'll think you're judging them, so they'll just leave a lot of truths away from you, and you're just guessing. And because of my experience, I can make really good guesses without people telling me anything. But I like to ask questions. That just makes my job easier. Just like a doctor would, I'd ask you questions. He doesn't want to have to go through the whole process to try to figure out what that pain is or that ache is. He's going to ask you everything. He wants you to be honest with him, because we all want our lives to be easier, even if it's work, even if we're getting paid good money to do a job. We want everybody wants their work to be efficient and easier. I mean, I just went to a place at Staples today, and a machine wasn't working. It was a kiosk for like a copy thing, and then the gentleman was helping a customer, and he's like, "Please, Samir," he was the manager. I seen this manager. He's like new. "Samir, come here." The place was empty. They had like a little managers meeting, a BS meeting. They were talking. "Can you help this gentleman? The kiosk isn't working." He looked at that. Samir, the big shot manager. He looked. He goes, "Oh, it looks like it's unplugged. You know, you got to plug that back in," and then walked away. I mean, now what kind of customer care is that? Just because you're a big shot manager? I mean, how's that feel? How's that feel if someone's just dismissing your needs, and you know what you want, and you know what to expect, and you just know what's going to work, but then someone tells you you're crazy and you don't know what you're talking about because they're the big shot, because they're the expert. There's so many different expert ways to look at things, but I'm just showing you our way. I could go a little further. I can go a little further and a little deeper into the concepts, but the video is already 17 minutes long, so I'm going to stop right here. Eliminex, Pest Management of New Jersey, Old Bridge, New Jersey. We service Central New Jersey. We're not even trying to sell any treatments. We've got plenty of jobs, but we just want to just inform the public of what an everyday bed bug job kind of looks like, without actually showing us spraying something. An expert service will only take one man. That's all it takes to do a bed bug treatment. One man. You don't need two men. You see some people, you need two men. Well, that's a show. You know why? Because that particular technician has found a way to make his life easier. So by getting a helper to move furniture around. But you can't have two guys spraying for bed bugs. You really can't, because the left hand doesn't know what the one guy's doing. There's one guy that probably has more experience than the other. And there's no rule. I couldn't give you 100%. I couldn't be 100% if I had a helper who's licensed, of course, but doesn't have as much experience as me. And I couldn't really. I could train them. I mean, but you need really a master technician, a guy who's trained, usually by me personally. If I feel like they know everything, they can mirror everything I'm doing and think the same way I'm thinking. That takes about 24 weeks of training. You know, it sucks if they quit or they get hurt doing something else, goofing off, going surfing or something, skateboarding, they get hurt. I just invested 24 weeks training this person to be the best it can be. But that's what you got to do, because when someone's working with me, they got to be the best and do it at my standards. So that's what it takes. But today I'm doing this job all by myself, and then I got a couple guys doing two other jobs. One's carpenter ant, another one's a bed bug follow-up. But I'm very proud of how everything's going. We have 100% success rate. Just check our website, njbestexterminator.com. Check out our reviews. It's pretty cool.